this works. Oh, hello. There we are. Thank you, camera. Hi. So, same day, different time. And thank you for coming to Scrapbook with me today. So, it's August. We're using the August kit, and I believe I have done, hold on, she counts really quickly because it's just gone from her brain. Yeah, I've done 5 layouts with the August kit so far, which is a brilliant victory for me for August, because August is the most difficult, and I know there are people going, you know what, she just won't get anything done in August, but I have done it and I'm very excited about that. So there we go. Right, let's just get straight to the desk. Let's see what we've made so far. And we have, oh yes, face cam is back. Amazing. We got 2 4x6 portraits here with this die cut. We're going to use that die again today. And we've got 1 4x6 here with working from the corner. We've got 3 3x4s plus a bunch of squares. Oh, sorry, I'm not quite on the screen. And we've got the layered Radiate Positivity paper plus the specialty paper, which makes this with my new collection, Reasons to Smile. And then this one with the adventure paper from Paige's Adventurous collection. So I've got all of that done so far this month, and I'm going to sneeze. Great, great, great. Hold on. Sorry, I hate it when that happens on a live stream. So that's what we've done so far. Today, we are going to put the Distress Spritz to the test. I used it just for a bit of splatter on this one, but we haven't done anything else with it so far. We're also going to use the stamps and dies from Vicky B. So I've got these 3 hearts and then the die that matches with them. And that all looks like this. So those are the things that we're going to focus on today, and then just use whatever papers are left in the kit to make that work. And we've got 2 4x6 portraits today, which is going to make you go, aww. So this is a photo from camp, but this is a photo of the same 2 children 7 years ago. So cute, yes? So we're going to put them on the same page. They humored us entirely, even though this tree was not so comfy. And we then said, you know, the next time you're due to take this picture, you'll be 17. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And then we said, you'll have to get yourselves into the tree, because at 17, we're not helping you. Not that neither of them would say no to climbing a tree, but this was actually not climbable without somebody giving you a bit of a lift. So there we go. So we've got these 2 kiddos who, there's 5 months between them. They're the kind of friends that don't see each other in person very often, but when they do, they just fall right back in as lovely friends. So that's definitely something worth scrapbooking. So I don't have a background paper left that I want to use with this. So I'm going to pull a plain not plain from my stash to work with today that we can then put stuff on top of. So let's go down here to this bottom shelf and see what that might be. We've got Cocoa Cream. I'm going to pull both a cream and a white base paper to show you how I check whether it's going to work or not. I mean, this also seems very apt. And clearly I stashed some of it away a long time ago because I liked it a lot. So I do have a bit of tree there. That's a cream grid. Okay. I didn't pull far enough into that stack of paper to get a white-based one. We have a portion of one here. So we could do something like that. Why don't I do that then? Digging. Okay. So why would I be picking white versus cream? Like, how would I choose which one is the better option? Well, if I want to use the other things in my stash, I need to put it together and see. So if I'm using this kit, look, this is all white based. This is all white based. The papers are all with white. I have nothing in this month's kit that has cream. Okay, so that means the white is going to work much more easily than the cream. So put the cream. Tree paper from, oh, this paper is older than they are. It doesn't have a year on it, but I would say this is probably 2010, 2011. Might be even older than that. It might be like 2008. Does the grid paper have a date on it? No, neither of them do. Okay, it's old at any rate. I love that you're here while you make lunch or eat lunch. All good. All good things. Okay, so we'll take this that I had left over. It's a little bit imperfect because it's been marked from storage. When I'm a bit hasty with my paper storage, there's a bit of the metal that scrapes it and sometimes leaves a mark on there. Okay, so if I start with that, I'd also like to bring in the wood grain from the kit, but how, do I have any horizontal pieces of it left or just, oh, that's the tiny bit. So, because shockingly, I have not ordered extra of this yet, but I might still have one sheet. Let's find out. Move. Don't need these today. Taking up space on my work surface. So move those out of the way. And then, let's see. Oh, pardon me while I put cardboard box. Here is my pack of individual papers for collection. Oh, I haven't done my speech yet, so I'll find the paper and then I'll do that before I forget. So I'm not looking for a paper outside the kit. I'm just looking for a second sheet of a paper that's in the kit and I've already used. But I know I've used 2 of it, and I'm not sure if I had the 2 or 3 to start with. I bought some. Oh, see, now this is a mistake. I've done a live stream at lunchtime while the Adhesive Avenger is home. And I can smell lunch. I do have one more. Yay. I can smell lunch downstairs, and it's not for me, but it smells nice. All right. So if I put another layer behind there, and see, this is torn on the wrong side for me because it would have been the other piece that I used. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to square them up top and bottom. And then we're going to pair them both together so they have a very similar tear line. Like that. And then when I go to put them on the page, I'm going to layer them like that. But I better do my speech before that. So let's go. Hello. My name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime you scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally, I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, think about coming back to craft. Everybody's welcome as long as you're nice. It's all good. If you want to find links to the stuff that I talk about or the supplies that I use, you can find it in the description box, which is either below the video or to the side of the video, depending on where you're watching. But yeah, that will take you to the supplies I'm using this month. That's the August Best of Both Worlds list. or what I'm going to use next month, which I already have in hand and I'm very excited about. That's September's kit. So you can find both of those linked there. You can also find all sorts of things like my website where you can sign up for classes. You can find my Instagram. You can find affiliate links to my 2 most recent collections. The brand new one is called Reasons to Smile, and the one before that is called Main Character Energy. They're both from American Crafts. I think that's everything. Let's talk about scrapbooking and actually scrapbook. Okay, cool. So we've got a 12 by 12 background here, and we're going to layer stuff on top of this. And I have a funny question for you that came up at camp. So when we were camping, some of my friends said, Shimelle, why do you do YouTube and Instagram and not TikTok? And I was like, well, that's a loaded question. I have many reasons. Where do you want me to start? The biggest one is, oh my goodness, Kirsty says the subtitles I've got a mind of their own today. I'm sorry. Right, okay, so I said my biggest reason is because I'm not very good at keeping up on the places that I try to stay on the internet. So adding a new place is kind of unfathomable. But then we did this little, I was going to say a deep dive. It was not a deep dive. It was a mid-level dive because we were around a campfire and having a laugh. So not like a research level deep dive. But the bit that was funny was that she searched up scrapbooking on TikTok, and there's a whole world of scrapbooking on TikTok, and it doesn't look like this. It's not this kind of scrapbooking. Like, more like what we would call Smash Books from back in the day, but of course, that was a brand name, so that name hasn't stuck around. But that sort of, it's still the concept of scrapbooking, yes, 100%, but like it looks different. Do you know what I mean? So we're talking about more just a lot of just paste it in and write a caption and stuff like that, which I feel has a huge amount of value. So I love it. There we go. George has got a good word. Junk journaling is closer to, in our terms of what we would call it. So I did find, like, American Crafts has their account, and it kind of pushes out quite a lot, but maybe not 100% of all the stuff they put on Instagram, but very similar. Sophia says, glue booking. Yes. Meets junk journal, meets diary, meets bullet journaling. Yeah. And so I just found it really interesting because if on any other platform, probably because I've posted there and used it, if I search for scrapbooking, I get scrapbooking that looks like what we do. But on TikTok, no. So she was like, I think people would like it. And I'm like, I think because no one else is there that I'd be a total weirdo. And they'd be like, crazy lady, get off my platform. So I just thought it was very interesting. And I wondered if anybody had hashtag opinions on this. I love George's instant reaction of, I don't even know how to work TikTok. The weird bit is that, like, she was showing me her tricks and stuff, and the tricks are, it's just scrolling through things that it recommends to you. So it's not, I mean, I don't know, maybe if you join Instagram now, it's the same thing. I don't know, because I joined Instagram on, like, day 2. And I joined it with a group of friends. So I had a group of people that we were all like, yes, let's do this. And then that was my core group. And then I just gradually grew out from there as to what I was consuming and what I wasn't. Sarah is a huge TikTok fan. Okay, Sarah, talk to us. That has been my life strategy too. I'm 100% with you there. Right, what can I put behind this? Let's find out. I don't know why I stuck this before I do all the die cutting stuff. So that was fun. That was an interesting life choice, Shimelle. Right. It needs to be one that can go sideways. That's an option. Could put the ivy leaves up behind them. Right. That is the best one from there. Do that. Oh, Sarah has 2 accounts so she can curate her feed. Literally, the more you watch, the more it tailors to you. She has 1 nerdy cosplay account and 1 more general. I love this. Keep going. Tell us more. I did find it when we were looking at her account and stuff like that. It's very much tracking where you're going, right? Because it seemed to give us content that was nearby. Sarah, this is Sarah's kind of mindset because she does it on Insta too. So she has 4 Insta accounts: main, scrapbooking, nerdy, and work. And she feels like InstaFeed and the TikTok for you page is becoming more similar. She says, yes, it does pay attention to where you're going and give you content that is nearby. There's some, what we did find was like surprisingly wholesome seems to be a category on TikTok that I quite enjoyed. The male model in London who rescued a rabbit is probably my best new find all year. Just surprisingly wholesome. Yes, Georgia also has numerous Insta accounts to contain things. So I admire those of you who have multiple accounts and keep them going. So I have multiple accounts but fail at them. So Sarah's like, I know him, East London man with his rabbit. Yeah, he's called Mr. Fury with a PH. If anybody is wanting to go see this amazing man you would not expect to have a beautiful, oh, not Mr. Fury subtitles, Fury, like with an I. So yeah, very sweet, very, very sweet. Now, I was just going to put this pink journaling box on there, but I've already got journaling paper. What am I like? Okay, let's do the mixed media stuff before I get out of control. Mama to Ski says 10 years ago her granddaughter was doing smash books. Currently she's a senior in high school and doing her senior year scrapbook in the same manner you describe. I do think it is the scrapbooking of that younger generation. It's very cute. It does remind me a lot of how I started when I started scrapbooking at university. Yeah. The thing I do find funny when with multiple accounts, so Sherry, who's sometimes here, even though she should usually be in bed, I hope she is in bed now because she's in Canada. She should not be awake. Or maybe now I'm later today, so maybe it's acceptable. I don't know. Anyway, Sherry has multiple accounts, like a scrappy and a personal and a work, and I'll message between all of them and be like, should I be curating my direct messages to the account? Like, so should I only message the scrapbooky account if it's something scrapbooky? And then she'll really throw me for a while because she'll WhatsApp me and I'll be like, wait, there's only one WhatsApp to my knowledge. The whole thing makes me laugh. Right, dies and stamps. Let's do this. Okay, so we have these and we need to work out what paper I'm gonna stamp on and cut out. It's actually a nice match color-wise. Sarah says she does not curate the DMs. She'll have 4 conversations going with a friend at a time. Good. I got to do some indoor photos to use the houseplant paper. peach. I did want to bring in the pink though because of her dress there. Yeah, pink would be better, but I don't have a solid pink or a single color pink in here. No. I hate it when that happens and there's no one I can blame except myself. Okay. Pink I have dotted wood grain, which could be really nice with the stamps. But I need to figure out what I can sacrifice in order to do that. I think here. Okay, let's try this. And brought my stamp block back in because it was in the bathroom. So we've got an outline, a stripe, and a dot. And we're going to have pink mist. Oh, with the tree branches and the bright colors, I think I'm actually going to stamp this in brown distress. And we're going to see what that looks like on here. Now, I once met somebody who does stamps and dies the other way around. And she die cuts first and then stamps, but my brain can't comprehend that. So we're going to go this way. Curious if anybody else does it the other way around. Do you like those two browns together? That's fine. Can I fit all three on here? That would be fabulous. Yeah. See you later, Sophia. And then they outline. Oh, it's not a plain outline. It's like a overlapped doodly outline. I like those. Oh, did I not? I should have done that one the other way around, but I'm going to make it fit. It's going to fit. It's going to fit. Yeah. Ah, yes, Jean, that does make sense. She says there's a technique to mass produce die cuts. It does it the other way around, but you set up a template. Otherwise, hard to line up. Yeah, I think if you use like your Misty or another way to square it up, and then you can just go through the whole stack. That does make sense. Right, die cutting time. Now, my trusty Revolution with my magnetic mat. Put that in the middle. Got die here. See this? And then line this up. And there's a fair amount of halo on this one, so that is going to be problematic, but it's okay. So one all done. Next one. And this last one where I gotta cheat a little bit. So I need to pick, do I lose here or there? And this is easier to tuck in, so I'm going to keep this lined up and lose this bit here. Georgia wants to use this stamp and die set, but she's not allowing herself until she finishes a kit. It's like allowing yourself a treat for a job well done. So I've got this bit cut out, but we're not going to see that in the end. So it is a-okay. Right, done with this. Let's do some mistiness. I've got these. I put brown edges on them. Hello, Liz. You are indeed actually live. Whoop, whoop. And hello, Lizette in Puerto Rico. Hola. Oh, I missed a little bit here, which I didn't catch when I was setting it up. It's tiny. Right, now, the thing we learned from just doing some splatters with this is, I don't know if this is true for all colors, but definitely the pink, it stains, baby. It's not one you can wipe off the varnished wood really quickly. So use something that will keep your surfaces safe. So I've got a plastic underneath here today. Oh, Georgia went a bit wild shopping. She bought 3 kits, which should equate to about 30 layouts. And then she spent her birthday money coins and bought 5 new collections. So she has got to do some scrapping. I like it. I like it. Okay, so we're going to try this one first and just give it an actual spray. I haven't ever sprayed it yet, so there we go. Oh. Okay. And that. 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 Now, what are we going to do with... Oh, it's so pretty. Let's see if you see it? Oh, it's not going to let me. Oh, there we go. Oh, weird. When I bring it up, it's showing it much darker up here close. And it made me feel like a certain era when I scrapbooked a lot of browns and then would just throw a little bit of color, but it's nowhere near as dark as it just looked like when I went up close. So there we go. Right. So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to scare you because I'm going to plunk the layout down on top of it. I haven't attached this yet, so we're good. Let's see how I need to do something here because I've got that. We're going to do this. Ready? And we're going to have that. Now, I quite like to fill that empty space. I did not do a very good job with this. That's better. Okay, so I've got this kind of explosion of pink down at the bottom. Desk is safe. All right. So this one, they're very big. I should have sprayed this one higher up because I can't see. So maybe this one is going to actually come over here and have something else here. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that sort of triangle. Am I ready to stick this? I think ink the edge of the ivy paper and then put it down. Oh yes, we have a bonus day this weekend. Georgia says, what's everybody's plans for bank holiday weekend? Because Monday is a holiday here, so we have 3-day weekend. What is everyone up to? Strangely enough, our plans are that we have no plans. But we're going to see what happens. We've had plans all the time, so sometimes it's nice to go, our plans are no plans. Georgia is out with friends on Sunday, but other than that, her plans are to stay home and scrapbook. Okay, so I think with these two hearts, I'm going to put the years that the photos are taken. With my little gold stickers, how am I doing for numbers? Don't quite remember. Oh. So it looks at first glance that I have lots of numbers, but I only have 2 2s, and this year is 2024. This one was taken in 2017, so I can't do both of those. I could do just 17 and 24, but I actually don't think that would be obvious enough, so I need to use something else. All right, take that. Oh, still a bit soggy, so it's not cutting properly. Should have waited. Okay. I need another embellishment here. So let's go to the Vicky stickers and the main character stickers and talk about cutting stuff in. Cutting stuff in, tucking stuff in. Oh, Debbie is going to film some videos because she's got a new Bible study that starts next week. So she has got planning and prepping to do. Sounds great. Okay. So, these colors looking nice. This one coming down here. Okay. Liz says the weather report for her neck of the woods suggests that it's the perfect kind of weekend to stay in scrapbook because he's going to be 1,000,000 degrees. Is it going to be 1,000,000 degrees or is it going to be a hurricane? I'm guessing now we're going to hurricane. I don't like it on this side. I want it on the other side. Am I too late? Kim is gathering and organizing kits for a scrapper retreat with her BFF at Crater Lake next month. That sounds so fun. Oh, Kirsty studied in Chichester and now her daughter is considering it and she hasn't been down for 30 years. Do you know I've never taken WB to Brighton and I keep meaning to because that's where I studied. And he's never been there. I haven't been back in a long time, not 30 years. But it's been a while since I've been in Brighton. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. And then we're going to find some other bits to match this. So I've got a little label in the same color. There. Okay, let's look at these two. Michelle just got back from London. I had tea with Michelle and then she got on a flight and went home. But she's going to go to a scrappy retreat this weekend. So she's packing up now. Amazing. Go to Gardner to scrapbook. Oh my goodness. The high school days I spent in Gardner. Debbie said, how was Oklahoma? She's a big fan of Christina Bianca, who was Ado Annie. She was a brilliant Ado Annie. It was a great production, really great. We had Joanna writing as Aunt Eller, and Joanna writing is a treat on any day of the week, but she was a fabulous Aunt Eller. And Curly was Phil Dunster from Ted Lasso. Yeah. And I loved this story that came across in some interview where he'd never really thought that he would do musicals. But of course, Hannah Waddingham was on Ted Lasso and whatever, they break into song when they're not filming. And she convinced him that he could do musicals. And he's got mixed reviews because he's a little different than somebody who spent their life in musical theater training. But his characterization was gorgeous. He's exactly the kind of Curly that I like. He feels to me the right kind of personality. And his voice, I think his voice is lovely. In character work, brilliant. The only thing that I think is made people go, oh, I'm not 100% sure about him, is because he played opposite Zizi Stradlin. Zizi Stradlin is kind of a goddess of West End theater. The kind of is unnecessary here. And she was Mary Poppins. She's also done, well, I saw her in Pippin quite recently, and she does a show called Cake where she plays Marie Antoinette in a leotard, essentially. She's super confident and oozing stage presence. She was a very different choice for Laurie, because I'm used to a Laurie who's a little indecisive. This was not an indecisive Laurie. This was a Laurie who knew what she wanted, and the only indecisiveness really was the Dream Ballet, which she did herself because she can dance, like really, really dance. So, and I'd never seen Zizi in a role which really just let the soprano side rip. And so the two of them together, when you're like watching and going, ooh, like one of these is like really, really, really trained. And the other one, maybe not so much. But the character work was fabulous. So I actually really, really rated Phil Dunster as Curly. And I would love to see him in more musicals. I much preferred him to some other leading celebrity castings that I've seen in other musicals recently. I actually think if that's the first thing he's ever tried, let's see more. Yeah, but as a show, brilliant. Loved Joanna writing. And I loved having a traditional Oklahoma. So we had the non-traditional Oklahoma not all that long ago, and I could not take WB to see that show. I did think that show was really interesting because I did Oklahoma in high school. I've seen a lot of productions of Oklahoma, and I had never thought about how dark some of the wording could be. And it does that particular version that really plays into the darkness. Like I cannot overemphasize how much it plays into the darker side of the show. Imagine if Quentin Tarantino decided to do a high school production and he did Oklahoma. Like, it's not quite Tarantino, but there was a definite feel of like, let's take a story and pull the dark. So anyway, I found that very interesting in order to see how the script could be interpreted in a very different way. But that was the kind of show where you went and you were like, oh, all these people were really talented. The music was really good. The voices were, but I did not enjoy my night out. That was high stress. It's that kind of theater, which I certainly think there's a place for. I'm not saying I didn't like it, but and it's not a show I could take WB to see. It was very grown up. And of all the things in that show, I could accept lots of it. I could not accept Aunt Eller with Ali Hakim. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I did not like it. Did not. Would not. Aunt Eller would never. Anyway. So apparently I have hashtag opinions on that. So this, I took WB to. It was great. I did notice there were hardly any children. The week before I went to Bernadette Peters, and he was literally the only child in the entire theater. But this week, there were like a handful, like single digits. I do think that might have come from the reputation of the really grown up and dark Oklahoma, because now maybe people think it's not a family show. But I think it's important for kids who have an interest in musical theater to be able to see Rodgers and Hammerstein shows. Like, you shouldn't just study musicals that have been written in the last 10 years or perhaps in the 80s. Like, you need to have breadth. I meet a lot of kids that are his age who are totally mad for musicals, but they only know like Beetlejuice, Carrie, Mean Girls, Heathers. They only know this like Addams Family, Billy Elliot, Hamilton. They know this like really, really modern. They might not even know Billy Elliot. That's probably too old. They know this like really modern core group of stuff, which is great. And I love that it's your way in. But please, could we now, if we're obsessed with this, let's widen our learning. And Rodgers and Hammerstein is a very important part of musical theater. There you go. So, but yeah, very enjoyable production, really high quality. Sound was great. Jordan Shaw as Will Parker was interesting, and I very much warmed to him. I love Jordan Shaw as a performer. He was the first Enjolras that WB ever saw in Les Mis. He didn't work with Jordan, but that was the first cast that he ever saw when he saw the show live. I want this color again, and I need to find it. Is it that? No. Is it this? Yes. Okay, it's that one. So yeah, a little different choice of how he played Will Parker than I'd ever seen Will Parker be done before. I had no idea that Jordan could tap. I should not be surprised by this when I find out people can tap. But if you haven't seen them in a show where they tap, I always find it shocking to be like, oh, and they tap dance. Amazing. So yeah, that was great. Apparently on the first night, his shoe broke at the beginning of the tap number, and he just threw his shoes off and did it barefoot. That takes guts. So yeah, really good show. Really glad we went. How about we do this camera or this film? Could I, between those two, can I cover the cutout? Yes. Okay, I finally found the things I need to make this happen. So I'm going to take this up to the top. I know I'm going to have that little triangle there, but I think it's okay. And then this one underneath. Like that. Now, I've got all my cutting mistakes covered now. And let's get a title on here. And I need to work out numbers, so I need different letter stickers. We went with his bestie, and neither of them had ever seen a show with a dream ballet, so that was really exciting. His bestie had no experience with Oklahoma at all, didn't know any of the songs, not even Oh, What a Beautiful Morning. And I find that really funny when you meet theater kids who don't know Oh, What a Beautiful Morning, because that's like, really, if you're my age, that was like the anthem of your youth. Okay, so I have 3 2s. Do I have enough zeros? Yeah. So 2017 I can do in pink glitter. And then 2024. Yes. Okay, so these are the letters from Sparkle City way back. The ones that were supposed to be purple, but they're pink. They are glittery. Yeah, so lovely. And tonight, we're going to go see Our House, which is being put on by the National Youth Music Theater. And so we've always heard wonderful things about NYMT, and it's like oh, that is not sticky. Not at all. It's like that one has lost its glue. I don't know, maybe it stayed behind. And some of the actors that WB worked with at Les Mis started in the National Youth Music Theater. So it's got quite the reputation. And they did, I believe, 3 shows this summer in London. And we couldn't go to the first 2 for timing-wise, but we could go tonight to see Our House. So I'm excited to see this because Our House, it's the Madness musical. And it played the West End many years ago. Actually, it played when Adhesive Avenger and I were dating. I don't think we were married yet. I think we went when we were dating. And we went with his whole family because his family are quite big Madness fans. And oh yeah, it did leave the glue behind. Okay. So yeah, nice to see a show that he probably won't see in the West End. I don't think we'll see a revival of it for quite some time. And we really want to see what is the quality and stuff of their productions, because it's been recommended to us by several people as somewhere to look once you're too old for the West End, essentially, because once your voice changes, you're out until you're a grown-up. Oh, I should have done this the other way around. I thought about it. I want it to end at that paperclip, so I'm going to move it all over. So yeah, we're going to go to see that tonight, and it's at a relatively small theater. Not tiny. Still a professional theater that shows professional shows all the time. It recently had the musical about Lizzie Borden, so that was kind of exciting. I didn't end up going to see that, but I heard interesting things about it. Okay, so we've got those there and there, and now that makes me want to do the title down here in that same sticker because continuity. So what should we call this? Joe said, along with Annie and Sound of Music and Calamity Jane, she watched Oklahoma. Those were the videos she watched on repeat as a child. Yeah. And I did think it was funny when I saw the really dark one. I was like, how come I've watched this so many times, both the movie and live productions, and never realized how dark the scene in the smokehouse with Curly and Judd is. So in the over 18 version, they do that in total darkness. It's a 6-minute blackout. There's absolutely no light in the entire theater, and you're just listening to it. So that was wild. Okay, what should I call this? Help! Otherwise, I'm gonna call it Friends in a Tree. What do we got? What do we got? Or do I call it something like Still Friends? Is that too boring? I'm gonna put Friends in, then you can tell me. I wonder if I do this smaller, do the first word in the pink glitter, and then this one, the second word in this. Okay. Can I do Friends? Do I still have E's? Yes, I do. F-R-E-N-D. S. Yep, I can do it. Sarah says we should have done it with them 3 years apart so we could do 3 years later. Oh, Joe did not like that scene and she would fast forward through it. I love that. Maybe I realized it was creepy at the time, but then I've edited it out of my brain. That's also an option. But it does surprise me that it's that there's one particular line that just is really jarring. And you're like, high schools do this. Why would high schools do this show? Why? No, it's wrong. Oh, George is like, let's embrace total cheese cliches and do from little acorns to great oaks. You're adorable. You know I don't like that, but I'm going to leave it be. What have I got in ours? Let's have... Okay. Oh, forest friends. That's cute. Let's do that. It sounds like they should help me do the chores like a Disney princess, but I like it. Okay, forest friends. This tree paper in the background is absolutely cracking me up because I absolutely loved that paper when it came out. Like, I thought it was just fabulous. I used it in lots of classes, and I think that was 2 sheets that I had left over from class kits, and they've been in my cupboard all this time. Aha! Georgia friends stick together. I found a good stick. It's in this tree. Georgia, I hope that you've got cheesy titles to go with all those supplies that you got to work through, because I want to see a carousel of cheesy titles. Yes, please. All right. Liking that. Yeah. How are we doing for time? Not bad. Not bad. What about more stickers? Okay, so journaling is going to go on these lines, and I'm just going to fill in all this empty space. Bring in gold. I've used all gold hearts, but I still have gold stars. What have I done here? They're not all going the same way. There we go. So let's do... Oh, I was thinking about bringing this wiggly gold in. Georgia said she's not good at thinking about them for herself. Oh, you're so funny. Hello, Virginia. All right, let's have a bit of wiggly gold here. Bit of wiggly gold here. Don't forget about this piece on the sticker sheet. Just makes everything more fun, but you have to remember that you have it. So if I like putting them at the bottom edge. Can we still read that? Yes, actually we can. All right. And then I've got a bit more wiggle for another day. Oh, I forgot this has the ice lolly border sticker. I might need to orchestrate a photo with ice lollies. Okay. Now I'm going to do stars. We have 3 spots for them. Jo got her Reasons to Smile 6x8 paper pad and also got the papery bag. Yay! Enjoy. Okay, so we got 3 stars there. Do 3 stars here. Yeah, I like it more contained there. Right, so I have 1 here, and then I'm going to do the other 2 over here if I have 2 more. Hold on. Yes, I do. I was going to say, I'm sure I did this on purpose so that it would work. Okay. I'll put the name of the campground here. And journal down here in brown. Do I want anything else on here? It's really weird this month not having dots in the kit. I don't have dots in the kit, right? I haven't made a mistake. Oh, Becca, excellent, good question. No, it's fine. Now is probably not the best time. It's a great time. But my 6-year-old is getting really into musicals. Which ones would you recommend for her age? She's pretty innocent, and I'd prefer to keep it that way for a while. Yeah, stay with innocent stuff. Cats is beautiful for 6-year-olds. And has a really intelligent score. Cats gets a lot of booing at this day and age because when you go back and look at shows from the 80s, they tend to look a little cheesy in some ways. But musically, the construction, the composition of Cats holds up. So you just kind of accept that it's kind of silly. It's a show where everybody dresses up like cats, but I still think it's great for that age group. Seussical is a show written for kids and without being like overly childish, and is very cleverly written lyrically because it's trying to turn Dr. Seuss things into lyrics. So that one is a very good choice for little ones, and that gives her a more modern piece. Corey is going for Seven Brides, Oklahoma, Showboat, anything from Rodgers and Hammerstein. Just keep in mind that the movies of the Rodgers and Hammerstein ones, they would be made differently today. Like the storylines in Rodgers and Hammerstein tend to be things that we probably wouldn't make into a musical now. Like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers has like a scene with everybody with shotguns. We probably wouldn't do that now. Oklahoma does have death in it. Carousel and Oliver both have women who get abused to an extreme. But if you're just listening, music-wise, brilliant stuff to learn. Corey says Wicked. Yes, Wicked is a great choice, and Wizard of Oz first. So once they kind of understand Wizard of Oz, then introduce Wicked, because although it's an origin story, you need to understand the stuff that's obvious in Wizard of Oz, like who, you know, the 2 witches, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion, in order to get stuff from Wicked. And I feel like sometimes kids now learn Wicked first, and they don't have this brilliant moment of going, oh, I see what's happening. So do it the other way around. Do Wizard of Oz first. I think all 6-year-olds can have an appreciation of Judy Garland being an absolute amazingness. Yeah, I would not recommend Little Shop yet. Little Shop is both spooky and will put your kid off going to the dentist. The dentist in Little Shop is ridiculously scary. Also, there's plants that eat you. So I would only go Little Shop if you had a really, really bold and brassy and fearless 6-year-old who doesn't have any issues with going to the dentist or the garden center. What else would be really great? Annie is brilliant at 6. Annie is amazing. It does not have the element that Oliver has. Oliver is great to listen to, but you just need to be aware that Nancy's storyline is really sad. It is. Yeah. Is that enough to get started? Have a go with those, and then let's come back and tell me what she likes and what she doesn't, and we'll go from there. Because I've got more obscure things, but I don't want to overwhelm you right now. So start with that. Start cats, Annie, Seussical, Wizard of Oz. Let's start there. Cool? Right. Apparently, those of you who have Spotlight in Australia, they are starting to get the new American Crafts collections in, including Reasons to Smile, so you can have a look there. Yay! I saw one photo, the first photo I've seen of Reasons to Smile in a Joann's, and they haven't redone the faces yet, so my collection is under somebody else's face, but that's absolutely fine. I don't mind. I'm just glad that it's in a store and not on the floor. A couple of people have said, I found it! And then you show me a picture and it's like tucked underneath and the row is a mess and there's stuff on the floor. And I'm like, oh, if you could hang that back up, thanks. Sorry to put you to work, but I appreciate it when you do. Okay, so I was just going to see about grabbing some dots. Sophia's back, so it means we've been rambling on long enough that people could even have an entire lunch. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, maybe some sparkly ones here, because I've got all the sparkles in the letter stickers. What about these? And then I could bring in that little bit of green. Oh, and these are multiple sizes. We like that too. And then I had the funniest email from the camp that we were at because we arrived really late at night and we didn't have to pitch a tent because we were staying in with friends. So during this week, I've had this message from them going, I'm really confused. Did you actually come to camp? We just want to make sure that we have our records right. I'm like, oh, sorry. Yes, we were there, but we, in the end, did not pitch. And we arrived late, so we didn't check in. And I never thought about it the next morning going to say that we arrived late. Whoops. Okay, so that's where we're going to finish this one, except for all of this is going to have journaling just put into the lined paper. Now, the lighting today is making this look a little bit cream. This is bright white. So let me zoom you in here. So you can see this is the Distress Spritz in Picked Raspberry, and it is sparkly. And then I've put glitter on top with the letter stickers, so we got a lot of sparkle going on. But I like how it has worked over the pattern paper. And then this, because it's over bright white, gives you a better idea of the color on white rather than on top of a wood grain or something. So that was super fun. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yay for we put out a piece of paper onto the desk that hasn't been out of the cupboard in a decade. So that was very, very exciting. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm not sure about live stream times for next week, but I am sure that there will be both YouTube live streams and This Year's Story live streams next week. So just keep an eye out for those to get scheduled and for the forum to open up for This Year's Story. And I will also try to keep you updated on Instagram stories is where I tend to put stuff like that. So thank you so much. Have a great one. If you enjoyed the video and you want to give it a thumbs up, that's super duper awesome. And I thank you so much. Have a creative weekend and I'll see you soon. Bye.